Three ways to get started investing in real estate, both actively and passively. Hi, I'm Steve Davis over at Total Wealth Academy. Total Wealth Academy is a coaching and consulting firm. We take people by the hand and teach them how to use real estate to build wealth and primarily a second stream of income. The goal of the members of Total Wealth Academy is to build a second stream of income that meets and exceeds all of their wants and needs. We usually focus on about twice what our bills are. If our bills are $5,000 a month, we're going to buy enough real estate to make sure that we have $10,000 a month coming in. $5,000 for our bills and $5,000 for romance, travel, fun, and so on. And we do that both actively and passively. So we're going to analyze two active methods and one passive method. For those of you who are first-time viewers, if you like this information and you would like to get more of it, please click on the subscribe button. So let's head into the first one, which is something I did at the beginning. When I originally started as a real estate investor, I had bad credit, no money. And so I began a thing called wholesaling. I'm going to skip over wholesaling and go to something that's much more common. It's a thing called flipping. Now, we all know what that is because there's multiple TV shows out there that tell you what it is. They show the flipping process and so on. This is a good way to build up a cash reserve if you're wise and don't live off the profits. Flipping can be done by just about any personality. If you're a little shy, that's fine. If you're an extrovert, that's fine as well. I've seen some of the shyest, quietest people go out and flip houses and do very well with it. Flipping houses is very basic. You find a good deal, get it under contract, you get your contractor bid for the rehab to make it perfect. And yes, you've got to make it perfect. You look at the numbers, evaluate the deal, make sure it's profitable, close the deal, rehab the deal, put it on the market, and sell it. When I was doing that, I made between $30,000 and $100,000 per deal. So it's way, way, way more profitable than wholesaling, as I mentioned. And it allows you to start building up a cash reserve so you can get to the ultimate goal, which is, of course, passive investing. That's really all I do. I don't do any more active investing, but that's the ultimate goal. But flipping is a good way to get on the path to passive investing. The next one is also active, just like flipping. It's single family rental. Now, I know some of you are going, well, you could get a third party to manage your properties for you. I've been at this for 30 years. I've seen dozens, maybe even over 100 different third-party property managers. None of them have been as effective as my members running their own property. I always ran my own property, even when I was up over 100 single-family houses. I could do it in about 20 hours a month. Now, you think about that. 100 single-family houses was between $20,000 and $30,000 a month in cash flow. Net cash flow. For 20 hours a month, that's a good deal. But recognize I was doing it. It was active. Even though it was very minor, it was active. It did get me out of a job, so I didn't have to work a job. So really my entire labor for the month was just that 20 hours, which was way less than the 70 hours a week I was working before. With rental, it's identical to flipping, except instead of selling it, you rent it. So you've got to know how to evaluate the neighborhood, run the comparable sales, make sure you've got a good deal, make sure the rehab is feasible, meaning not too expensive, and is done perfectly. Now, you're going to hear me stress this quite a bit in all my videos. There is no rehabbing halfway. Whether it's a flip or a rental, you want to make everything perfect in the property because people notice anything that's wrong with the property, and it's the first thing that they see. So make sure that your rehab, the scope of work, is to make the property perfect. Now we head into the third category, and this is completely passive. Again, this is what I do. I used to own, as I said, over 100 single family homes. I used to flip houses. I used to wholesale. But all of that was active and consumed my time. Then I started buying apartment complexes, small ones, 10, 20, 30, 40 units. Then I learned how to buy big ones, 200 units, 300 units, and so on. But an individual came to me and said, why don't you put up the money and I'll go buy the apartment complex, I'll manage it, I'll do all the work, you do nothing. Passive investing. Well, after about 6 attempts and me telling him no 5 times, on the 6th attempt, I finally said, okay, I'll give you some money. And I invested some money with him. 9 months later, he got me an 85% rate of return. 85% rate of return. I immediately sold all of my single family houses, never flipped a deal again, and went completely passive. This allowed me to become a full-time teacher, which I do at Total Wealth Academy. This passive investing is the ultimate goal, and it's where all of you are headed. Even if you have to start with flipping, single family rental like I did, the ultimate goal is the passive investing. Now, some of you have 70 grand, 100 grand in an IRA, 401k already. If you do, you can actually skip flipping, you can skip single family and go directly to passive investing. Pretty much the minimum passive investment is around $50,000. And yes, you can use your IRA, your 401k, any qualified retirement account to invest passively without tax or penalty. So there's the 3 categories that I wanted to cover today. Flipping, single family rental, and passive investing in commercial deals. And a commercial deal could be in a lot of different spaces. I invest in apartments, self-storage, senior living, hotels, strip shopping centers, and more. The truth is, if it's backed by real estate and it produces cash flow, then I'm interested in it. But remember, and I probably should have said this earlier, it's the cash flow. Everything is the cash flow. See, flipping, go back to the beginning, flipping is a job. Yeah, you can make big chunks of money, but that money is taxed as earned income because it's a job. Your rental income, when you move to single family rental, is taxed differently, much, much lower, because it's a true investment. And the same goes for passive investing. So I know I've thrown out a lot of ideas here, but there's the 3 types of investing I wanted you to leave here knowing about. Again, if you enjoyed this video, you can click the subscribe button and follow us, and we'll get more of these out to you as soon as possible. Thanks for watching.